Hi there, this is Neil Salvage, and welcome to this podcast, Gassing On. Yes, we're going to gas on about the world of ground gas. We're going to meet people in the industry. We're going to visit places and generally find out about interesting things that are happening, developing, and the changes that have gone on before us. So welcome on board and hope you enjoy this podcast. Welcome. Slightly different feel to today's episode. I've actually taken a journey up to Newbar Crescent. Well, Newbar Crescent, some of you may or may not have heard of it, but it's Gorbridge, just south-east of Edinburgh, about 8 miles from the city centre, and I've just taken the opportunity to have a little look at the site and what's gone on here. So I've just arrived and it looks a pretty barren place at the moment. It's got some Harris fencing around it. There's some concrete bollards to try and keep people out of the site, but it's clearly open to walk through, and I'm just making my way down through the site. The main road that went through the site is still here, but you can see the driveways in. There's piles of, looks like where they've ripped up some of the roads. You can see a lot of debris, old hardcore ballast, and I think the local residents are using this as a bit of a dumping ground as well, by the looks of it. But as I wander on, I've just picked up just sight a couple of blue borehole monitoring wells dotted around the site. So I can actually see the first one that I've come to. The cap is open on it, and just having a look down, well, it looks like somebody's stuffed a load of rubbish down there. So but just looking from where I am, I can spot about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's quite a number of monitoring wells, and well, I'm going to stay quite close to the road. And you can see the pathways all overgrown, vegetation coming through, and the street lighting's still down here, whether it works or not. But yeah, it looks quite a sorry place, really. I'm going to have a little wander around and let's see who we might meet on the way here. There's a few people passing by, so we'll see if anybody's about. Have a quick chat with them. So it's quite early in the morning. It's actually about 7:30, 7:45, and just there's nobody around. But looking at the local housing stock, we can see some of the new houses in the adjacent road. I'm going to have a little look up there. There's a cut through. There is a road that leads onto it. Looks of the similar era. These were 2009, I believe they were built, and the issues arose here in 2014. So yeah, just we can see the housing stock. There is some older housing stock kind of to the south of us, which looks like 1950s kind of post-war construction, and there's an old church, quite a nice church actually, and the bowls club is next door as well. So it's yeah, and the mining history here as well is quite prominent. As I drove in, you can see the mining museum, which might pop in on the way back just to have a look, see what information they've got. So yeah, it's all looking rather, well, quite sad for itself, to be honest. So I had about half an hour, 40 minutes down here today at Newbar Crescent. Met 4 people in my time here, and all really, I didn't want to compromise them and ask them to speak to the recorder, but just having a chit chat with them. Certainly one gentleman gave me an insight. He was knowledgeable, local, born and bred in Gorbridge, gave me a bit of mining history, knew a little bit about the gas issue, and kind of described the scenario that the residents hear about, that it was the builder's fault, it was the planner's fault, it was the council's fault. And again, it's had media coverage here. Like they say, they're not sure where it's going, but they know that there's hopefully going to be properties built on this site within the coming months, and there's plans afoot to do that, according to one particular gentleman. Certainly seems a very handy cut through. Everybody still uses it. I can see a lot of youngsters heading over to get their school bus this morning, and yeah, well, coming to these sites certainly gives us more of an insight of what's going on, and possibly people that are doing their initial site investigations and doing a walkthrough on site Key things to look out for, people to speak to, looking at the historical maps. Hopefully, as I say, I'm going to head down to the museum now to see what was here, if there is any details of things that have gone on, and obviously hoping that the knowledge available at the museum will shed some light on that for us. So it's the flip side of the visit now, and I've actually relocated over to the west side of Scotland, and I've come over to Airskin, where I am. Well, I'm on a new build site. It's a school project, and I'm looking at some gas membrane that's being very well installed here. Good subgrade, good product. You can see vent matting going in. Now, the interesting part of this visit, and I've kind of latched it on while I'm in Scotland, is to talk to I had a quick word with the site manager, and the reason for the gas protection, understanding what was in the ground and what the potential risks and hazards were. And he said to me, there's no hazard here, they're only putting it in because it's a school. Well, I didn't get drawn into too much debate about that. As I stand here speaking to you, I'm looking over to the west, and I can see a huge landfill within about half a mile away, and a smaller landfill site literally on the peripheral of the school. So knowing people's knowledge and understanding of what's going on around them, incidents that's happened at Gorbridge, I certainly felt that the local residents there knew about it but didn't really want to divulge into it too much, whereas some people here on this project, they know there's an issue. They kind of want to dismiss the issue, that it's not really needed, but yet you can see that it is being put in. So just I thought it was a nice comparison to see on this site, and the way some gas protection is needed and it's vital, whereas potentially others might not be needed, and it's specified in. I'm sure we could have a long debate on that one, and maybe some of our future speakers will be giving us an insight into those views about risk assessment of the site. So I hope you've enjoyed this first season of our podcast. I'd like to thank all the speakers that have been on with us, and we look forward in the coming months. I'll hopefully generate some new interviews, and look forward to seeing you in a few months' time, where we can put a second series out there. So thanks again for listening, and see you all soon. A final report on the Gorbridge incident was issued in December 2017, which was led by the incident management team comprising of Midlothian Council, Health Protection Scotland and the Scottish Environment Protection Agency SEPA, leading to the 2019 research project by the Scottish Government So thanks for joining us, and look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye now.